What's going on, everybody? Doc from Average Gamer, guys. Rocket League is looking a little bit different this afternoon. Welcome, everybody. We've got the Salty Shores update, and as always, we've got the new Impact Crate content. So hang with me. I'm going to talk through the update. I'm going to talk through what's new to the game, bug fixes, all that. We'll run through the entire update, and then we're going to go ahead and we're also going to take a look at the crate contents to give you guys a look at hopefully what you'll be opening, and hopefully you guys have some good luck in grabbing one of these crates. I got mine within the first couple of games, but I was due for a crate, so my luck has been pretty good. Hopefully yours is the same, but hang with me. Doc from Average Gamer, guys, hang with me. We're going to run through this, and we're just going to have a chill time and take a look at the new update. So first and foremost, I actually really like this new loading screen. Like, starting the game off totally fresh. This is, I think, one of the first times they've done something like this, which is really cool. Total new feel to the game. And the Salty Shores update is fully upon us. So it's a 4.9 gig update. You guys can jump in, download it, get it going, and at this point, by the time you're watching it, everything's been reset. So season 7 is over. Season 8 is fully upon us, and yeah, it's just, we've got the whole thing. So let's quick run through. We're gonna run through the update. We'll take a look at everything inside of that, and then we will get into the crate action. So just bear with me for a few minutes. We can actually take a look at some of the goal explosions and the banners as well. So we'll pop through the inventory and get over to some of those and take a look. Super cool. We're able to pick up all 3 of the goal explosions and quite a few tiers of the banners this season. So let's run through the update really quick. As always, as we usually do, check down below. We'll have the official Rocket League post up. You can take a look at patch notes version 1.45, and you can read through them, but I'm just going to skim through them right now. So the headlines is we get the new Salty Shores Arena, which you're seeing me currently sit in, which is really cool. They did an absolute awesome job with it. Really neat arena. Super happy about that. As we talked about, Season 7 competitive season ends, Season 8 begins. We get both the player banners and the new goal explosions, and then again, we get the new Impact Crate. That's the highlights. So new content, again, Salty Shores is available in all new arena and all playlists. We also get Wasteland Night is now available in all playlists, which is pretty cool. Again, we get the Impact Crate. We get Monster Cat Volume 3, which is like definitely a different style of Monster Cat, but it's really good. I've really liked it. It definitely fits with the kind of beach, shores, summer theme, which I'm super excited about. We get the S watercolor customization items that have been added. We get the player banner and the flag, so I'm still waiting on grabbing those. We get some new decals, actually, which is really interesting. For a couple of different cars, the Masamune, the Paladin Aftershock, and the Triton, which is kind of cool. We get 3 new toppers, the Goldfish, the Palm Tree, and the Swim Ring. So we've got some new stuff that can drop after the game, which is really cool. Interestingly enough, I also, when I loaded it up, I got just a regular Merc body. I don't know if that was weird or if anybody else got that, but I did pick that up. Unpainted, just common one. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So for some of the updates and the changes, server reporting, we can now report. You can now select the report server button in the mid-game menu to directly report a problematic game server for Psionics, the team to take a look at, which is really cool. Again, competitive season 7 is officially ended. You should all at this point have your, as soon as you boot it up after the update goes through, you should have your reward levels. Again, there's 7 tiers for the player banners. There's also 3 goal explosions that kind of coordinate to what tier you made it to. And we'll take a look at those here in a second. Season 8 is beginning. It starts with a soft reset, which is going to require you to do placement matches in each playlist to recalibrate. It said winning half of your placement matches will land you near your previous season rank, so near being the key underlined word that they didn't really highlight. And then the soft reset is no longer going to compress the champion tiers skills downward, so there's no longer going to be a bottleneck. I think Sloth talked about this a little bit in the video we did before the update, but instead only Grand Champs are going to be compressed down to the top end of Champ 3, which is kind of neat. Actually gives them a chance to kind of duke it back out and kind of sort through it again, and I think it gives some of the Champ 3 competitors maybe a better opportunity to jump in a Grand Champ. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and definitely kind of moves where the bottleneck is, which is good. The bottleneck should be at the top tier of champion, in my opinion. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, but you're free to do that. So League rankings are also going to temporarily be empty, obviously until all players complete their placement matches. You guys know that's going to happen pretty quick. So here, again, we got the season banners. What else do we got? So they've got bug fixes. They got a ton. I'm not going to highlight too many of these, but I am going to run through. Players rank is now going to correctly display on the post-match screen. I know that was a big issue. That for the Xbox One specifically, they fixed a crash and performance issue. They also fixed an issue causing orange team-specific presets to incorrectly preload during matchmaking, causing them to appear late. There's some boost audio and visual effects that was, going to get worked out. They fixed the boost activation occurring one frame behind input when the game is running at 60 FPS. They improved loading performance for some players, particularly on PS4, those that experience some stutter the first 5 to 10 seconds of a match. They fixed the issue they had where you couldn't get the forfeit vote button after you've already forfeited to vote, which was really good. It was annoying because it was only essentially making you instantly leave the game and then therefore get a ban, which I know a lot of people didn't like. Fixed the favorite button disappearing sometimes in the garage car body tab. And then they fixed just a couple of other things. Tread glow on Season 3 Star Wheels has been restored. And then the Dracos have actually been fixed. We'll take a look at that. We'll go into customization really quick to show off these goal explosions. And we'll take a look at the Draco wheels because I haven't actually looked at that. They have some known issues, so quite a few of these. But interestingly, they put in here a note that it says if you go down a division after a win in a ranked match, it's not a bug. The division down is attached to a previous loss that was reported to our database late. You still receive appropriate credit for the win. So it's interesting because that happened to me, I think, maybe just a handful of times. I'm not really sure why. It seems interesting, but maybe if you leave a match, say you finish a match and you leave it really quickly after the match is over, say you rage quit, for instance, maybe it doesn't calculate and then it gets reported at a later time. So that's really interesting that they put in there. Because it must be something that they've been getting quite a bit. Interestingly enough, we'll take a look at the new Twinzer. It lacks the paintable attributes on the front of the body, which you guys will see when we take a look at it, and they are going to fix that in the next update. I thought that was really interesting. There's some issues on the paint finish on the Batmobile. There's some PS4 Pro Switch, PS4 Mac OS textures, join delay, split screen things causing some issues. And then just a lot of other little stuff. They talk about the volts may appear pixelated for some players. Painted volts, like some gray wheels. Again, the volts for whatever reason may appear similar to titanium white. Just some small stuff in my opinion, but obviously all these little issues. They've got probably about 15 or 20 issues listed here. And it's good that they're aware. Obviously, it would have been better if we would have gotten fixed. But that's what we're working towards. So that is the baseline for the update. Again, a lot of stuff in here. I'm just excited. I'm excited about the update. I always get really excited about these updates because they're really cool. I think they did a really good job with this. I just really like the new theme. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Like the fresh theme, the summer, it's exciting. It's honestly really exciting. These are definitely fixed. So if you're a Draco owner, look at those titanium white Dracos getting going. The dots are fixed and they are back and they are bright. And I can't tell you, I'm not a big Draco user, but these needed to be fixed because that is what gives the front of this wheel. The tread's always been awesome. The front of the wheel, the dragon's really cool. But those 4 glowing spots in the back really do make this wheel. So I'm glad to see that those got fixed. Let's hop over. We'll take a quick look at the goal explosions. So for those of you picking these up, these are pretty cool. I've seen a few of them. I do like this goal explosion. I really do. I think it's kind of neat. It's definitely very similar. It definitely has like an atomizer, polypop type feel. I don't see a whole lot of difference beyond the color. I mean, this is definitely a color step up. You get multiple different colors. You get the little swirlies coming out that are a little bit more exaggerated and they're different colors, which is kind of cool. And then Striker Pro, I mean, there's just a lot more of them. And similar thing, you get a different color scheme on them. So I know there's a lot of talk. I think these are cool. I'm definitely happy that these got added. I think this was a really good idea because honestly, we don't have many options, especially if you're not trading or picking up crates. You really get the classic, and then you get a couple of, honestly, you get a couple colors. It's cool to have like a blue that you can kind of match up with a little bit of a pink. Obviously, you can run the classic on that, but I'm happy about them. I know people are going to say whatever they're going to say, and they're going to have their opinions. I do think it would have been better if they would have tiered these out instead of grouping these together. Obviously, again, I'm happy with it because I got the top tier one, but maybe that's just something they'll take a look at and work on in the future. That's all we can really hope for. But I am happy. Hopefully, you guys are happy with the season rewards as well. We'll take a quick look at the banners. Again, I did not get all of them, and we'll just run through the tiers. These are pretty cool. They definitely step up. You know, gradually as you go, more animated. They got away from the color scheme. This one's actually pretty cool for tier 4, which I think is the platinum one. Yep, and then this is the diamond one. I mean, they did a good job of tiering these up. They did not do justice to these, obviously with the gift that we had beforehand, but it is what it is. I would be curious to see, and we'll have to get Sloth on here, maybe grab an image of what these actually look like in game, of some of the top tier ones. I think tier 6 and tier 7. I think he made to tier 7, so or tier 6 at least. So we'll have to kind of see what that one looks like. They definitely did a good job stepping these up. Like I said, you can definitely tell, and better so than the GIF really gave off. Especially as you start to get into these. I mean, you get a lot more animation, you get a lot more color. They're pretty cool. So hopefully you guys are happy with those. Let me know what you think for sure. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this, as we would say. This is the new Impact Crate. I'm just going to say this up front. The decal, I don't ever understand the choice of the decals. I sincerely don't. We got this cool stare down rare decal, again, Dom GT, used car. It's kind of neat. I don't mind it. The Sentio must be used way more than people think, or they're just really pushing it, because crate after crate after crate, we've gotten a Sentio decal, splashback. It's cool. It's whatever it is. I don't understand. I mean, where's the werewolf love? I just don't get it. We do get windswept for the imp, which is really cool. I actually like this one. It's a simple decal. I think you can do some neat things with it. And I think, you know, there's some Imperator DT5 users out there that are going to really appreciate this if they get it. There's going to be some Roadhog users out there that maybe appreciate the Sunday decal that they get for this crate. You put these import bodies in these crates. I just don't understand. The werewolf still to this day does not have a decal that can come painted. I think that's really interesting. I think they should have swapped this out and put a werewolf decal in this one. We still hold out a little bit of hope because we do have the summer event coming here in the next couple of weeks. I think June 11th it kicks off. So maybe, just maybe, we can hold out some hope for those werewolf users out there, because it is a card that people use. I've seen it around, but definitely not a whole lot of love in this crate. So let's get a little bit better to the more, I guess, exciting things in the crate here. We get these Masato wheels. These are actually pretty cool. A little bit different. They kind of remind me of Nippers just a little bit, but they definitely look like big fan blades on the back of a boat. That's instantly what I thought when I saw these, which is very summer themed. So if that's what they're going for, more power to them. They're pretty cool. Definitely going to be a cool painted wheel. Obviously nothing crazy on the tread, but it's a good fit for the very rare wheel slot in my opinion. And I like it. I think they're really neat. We get this really cool. I actually really like this. Putting the banners out there, getting some support to the banners. Obviously, this can come painted. Burnout, it's cool. It's a good animated banner. Definitely something different. I know Liftoff was pretty popular, so another good one here. Then we get the Migraine banner, which is also really cool. Again, they can't ever really go wrong with these animated banners, especially if this can come painted, which would be really, really cool. So we'll just have to keep an eye out for that, but I'm fine with these being in the crate. I think they're really neat. What's interesting here is the next item that we get, which is these Reaper wheels, which honestly, the first thing I thought was kind of like almost like an upgraded Saptorishi. The back wheel has that same kind of vibe with the inside of the wheel being painted. I actually really like these. I think they're really neat. It might just be the gold on them that's sticking out and looking really cool. I'd be curious to see, as always, be curious to see what these look painted, just because I'm curious what on them will get painted. If it's the gold, I think it's going to look really cool. If there's some kind of style change or something in the middle, I think that would also look really neat. So we'll just have to kind of keep our eyes out and see. They got a cool kind of like little tread thing. Again, very reminiscent of the Saptorishi wheels for me. The interesting thing about this is it comes in at the very rare slot, so you have 2 chances of getting 2 different very rare wheels, which I think is really neat. And they, instead of putting this in the import slot, they put it into the very rare slot, which kind of opens us up. So we get the Twinser. Say what you will about it, it is pretty cool. It's a neat looking car. I would have to see it, feel it out, as a lot of you probably will. As far as the hitbox, it is the Octane hitbox. So here's the problem with this. If you were to get one painted now, you'd probably be pretty disappointed, because you see the gold bars on the top, you see the gold bars in the front. That's essentially all that comes painted, minus a few other parts I think on the back. They are going to be fixing that, so where you can see where there's essentially no animated decal, there's no dissolver on it right now, that eventually is going to be painted. So it's going to be a very painted car body, which is really cool once it gets fixed. I don't know what that's going to do as far as to turn people on or off against it. Again, I would just have to play with it. It's definitely a good variation. It's a different variation of the Octane, and but I don't think it's too far removed. I think some people are going to really enjoy this. It'll just be interesting to see again what people think and how it feels when it plays, because that's a big portion of it. It is cool, neat import body. Definitely feels to fit in with the theme for the summer theme, kind of like, again, like a dune racer kind of type deal. So I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Although I don't know if I'm a huge fan of how some of these decals sit. Again, I've got the dissolver on here pretty light on my secondary color in the front, but it doesn't get a whole lot of that color. So it'll be just kind of interesting to see what everything else looks like on it. We then get the Enchanter boost, which actually looks really good on the car, and the color scheme matches up pretty good with what I got going on right now. Here's the problem with this. This, in my opinion, looks way too much like Comet. Look at the boost from the side. It's like a reskin Comet, in my opinion. The sound's obviously different. It's got a little bit of different pattern and motion, but I don't know. In my opinion, it's just too close to Comet. It doesn't sound terrible. It looks pretty neat. Again, painted versions might be really, really dope and really different, but only time will tell until we can take a look and get some of those. We've got this next import boost. I don't know how I feel about this. It's definitely different. Nothing jumps out to me. Blast Ray, I think, was maybe the first one I kind of thought when I saw this. It's definitely different. I think this is going to be kind of similarly painted to the Blast Ray, where you're always going to have kind of that tint of black inside of it, which some people like, some people don't. I don't know how I feel about this, and I think it's interesting, again, that we get the Reaper wheels at the very rare slot, and then we get 2 boosts at the import slot. So you're essentially fighting up to try to get to a Twinser import body and have the chance of hitting either one of these 2 boosts. I don't know. I think I would have liked to see this swapped. I don't know that they can put a boost down into the very rare slot. I know they have before, but just kind of interesting to see that sitting right there. But 2 decent options. Again, I think 2 reminiscent of some of the stuff we've seen in the past, but there is only so much they can do with the boost to swap things up. So painted versions, we'll have to keep an eye out for them. So now we're getting into the good stuff. Let's get to the first exotic wheel, the Santa Fe wheels. Pretty cool, actually. Not terrible. Kind of your more non-flashy, non-animated wheel. I think painted versions of these are going to look really, really neat. I think if these come in black, they're going to look really dope, just because of how the pattern in the center is going to go, and it's going to kind of black out the tread and everything else. But again, it's a neat wheel. It's definitely not flashy, not super animated like we've seen in the past. And they usually do a pretty good version, or pretty good job of doing kind of 2 versions of the wheels. One that's less flashy, one that's a little more flashy. So I like these. I think they're neat. Again, painted versions of these probably will look pretty cool. Will these end up being super expensive? I don't think so. Just kind of based on how these types of wheels have done in the past. But a lot of color. That's one thing that they seem to screw up sometimes with these wheels, is they don't put enough color on the paint what can be painted. So painted versions of these, we'll just have to keep our eye on them. But not the worst wheel I've ever seen. Pretty cool. And again, if you like the style, I can see this wheel going pretty cool with some different cars and some different styles out there. So only time will tell. We'll have to take a look at it. The next wheel we get is the Centro. These almost remind me of like Balacars mixed with Hypnotics. That's instantly what I thought because of the pattern and kind of your animation in the center. Also a little bit of the reverb with the stripe down the center going a little bit. I don't know how I feel about these yet, just because again I'd have to see them painted, and kind of like the Balacars, they've got that spoke in the center, which actually kind of takes away from the center of the wheel in the animation. These are definitely a little less in your face as far as the Hypnotics go. So I think these might be, while the Hypnotics were really popular because they were really neat, I think these are similarly going to be popular, but more so specific to those that don't like an like super overly flashy wheel. But again, we have to wait to see the painted versions. I do think it's interesting that we get two wheels in a row that are kind of like a purplish, like dark blue type color. Again, same thing with the Hypnotics. We get this here that's, you know, kind of like a lime green almost. So good options. Not super crazy about either wheel, but definitely not the worst wheels we've seen. And we'll just have to see what we think and what you guys think out there. Definitely want to hear your opinions and what you guys think. Let's get into the good stuff. So Atomizer is back. I'm not mad about this. I'm totally comfortable with them putting something in from the previous crate. In my opinion, I would have probably liked a black market decal. However, if they swap it up and we get black market goal explosions that cross over, I'm okay with that. I do like this one. I think it's neat. Hopefully you're not disappointed if you crack the crate, but you probably will be, because there's 3 new options for black market decals. So the first one is Juiced, which is just laughable. I don't know what else to say about this. It's hilarious. It's definitely different than anything else we have. We can also pretty firmly say that with the fact that this is in here, the beach ball goal explosion is going to be part of the summer event crate. So look out for that. I'm sure that will come in at the exotic spot. But this is neat. I mean, it's definitely funny. If you get scored on and they have this, the first couple times it happens to me, I'm going to laugh just because it's totally different. So not terrible. Great. Goal explosions are usually what they are. They're just crazy goal explosions, and this one is definitely really funny. It definitely kind of fits that summer theme. So be curious to see what you guys think on this one. Then we get into the real good stuff. We've got the Fire God Black Market decal. This, to me, in my opinion, is a cross. This is an upgraded Heatwave and is a cross between Dissolver and Heatwave. So let's take a look. I have Dissolver on. Obviously a little bit different. This is a little bit different, kind of like a pattern, but definitely still very, very flame-ish along the same lines. And then we go into this. Again, if you're very familiar with Heatwave, Heatwave just lines up and runs lines essentially along the contours of the body, and this kind of just spreads the fire everywhere. This, they've done a really good job with these black market decals. There's always been a banger. Dissolver was really awesome. This, in my opinion, is going to do the same thing. The color scheme on it is really cool. You'd have to play with the colors again. This is just what I have on here, but it really makes the painted body stand out really cool. I can see some really neat colors and color combinations and contrasts, honestly, because it seems like it darkens out the paint. Again, I've got a pretty bright yellow on this for the Dissolver, and you can see kind of how it sits. It definitely makes that other color pop quite a bit. So let me know what you guys think. This is awesome. This is definitely going to be, again, on my list of things to grab and to kind of keep working towards on the set for black markets. But I like this one. I definitely think it's going to rival. It's definitely good, and it very well could rival Heatwave. We'll just have to see what comes out of it. But it is really neat. Another really good black market decal that they've done. And then we go in and we get the Streamline. Now, this isn't super flashy. This isn't super crazy. I just really like this one. This one strikes me. I think we've needed kind of a cleaner, I almost said streamlined decal, but we needed a streamlined black market decal, and this is it. This isn't overly flashy. Again, I just really like this. The other thing I really like about this, if you match your color scheme up, and I've done a decent job not even knowing that this was in the crate, but the blue really makes the painted bodies stand out as an alternate color, flashing across. This one, I definitely like Fire God more. I think Fire God is definitely more in your face, a lot flashier. But Streamline has a special place in my heart. I'm going to be interested to try to get this. I would love to, again, see what we can do with the color combinations on it. And if you've been looking for a black market that's kind of different from Lab, because Lab doesn't give you really the color options, Stormwatch was kind of just too much, I think, on the top of the car for a lot of people. This is all the way across. This definitely gives you some cool customization, but is a really just neat, not super flashy animated decal that I think a lot of people are going to like, and I think you're going to see a lot of people using. I really do like this one. Again, we'll have everybody that wants to be flashy kicking this off, but I think this is going to stay pretty popular for quite a while, because it's again just something a little different than we've had before, and is just neat decal. So that's the Impact Crate, guys. That's what we've got for you. If you've hung out this far, thank you so very much. We really do appreciate it. I'm not going to hang up any more of your time. I'd just be really curious to see what you guys think of the crate. Let us know down below how your crate drops have been as well. I'm always really interested to hear kind of what luck you've had, how many you're getting. Like I said, I got lucky enough to grab this one in the first couple of games I played, but I was due for a crate anyways. So just random luck of the draw, in my opinion, that I picked this up. But I'm glad we can run through this. We'll keep an eye on the next update and everything else that's coming out. Additionally, we'll have some more details on the event as soon as we get some more information on that. But that is coming kind of like the second week of June, so stay tuned for that. And just get out there and grind some crates. Season 8 is out there as well, so start your grind towards Grand Champ. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for hanging with me and checking out the channel. If you're new, that subscribe button's there if you want to click it. We do appreciate the support. So Doc from Average Gamer, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.